Hello, everybody. It's me, Bigfoot Mission Rob. It's Friday night. Time for a encounter sent in by a subscriber or an emailer, like I always tried to provide for you guys on the weekend. This one, you guys are going to have to leave a comment on this one because I'm having a hard time putting my hands around this. This is from this guy named Tobias. That's what he says his real name is. Before I get on, thanks for subscribing to Bigfoot to Michigan Rob on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate each and every single one of you. So I'm reading this email. I've had it for about a month. And this guy's like giving me his confession. He's giving me his confession of all the sins that he has committed. Now, not all of them, and I do believe he's leaving some out. Okay? I know that something has happened to this man. I do know he's had an experience. Okay? He claims to have seen a werewolf in his jail cell. And the story goes on from there, which I'm going to tell you guys this story in his words. I think he's leaving some details out. However, something happened to this guy. And I'm going to tell Tobias right now, I don't judge people. I'm not sure I like you. In fact, I don't think I like you at all. But that's okay. You took the time to email me this. And I wish you the best. So everybody listening to this, leave a comment. What do you think about this? Something happened to this guy, I'm convinced. What, I don't know. Again, claims to have had a werewolf encounter. Werewolf, in his words. I'm going to get on with it. Thank you. Please subscribe if not already. In fact, with this particular story, encounter, if you will, this is perfect material for Saturday night at midnight. I'll probably do it in a couple weeks with the gang and break it on down. Live show. I'm going to see what you guys think now, though, in the video format. Hello, Rob. I'm reaching out via this email because I do believe that something evil has taken a hold of me, or at the very least, is trying to break my inner being. I'm not a God-fearing man. However, I do not consider myself an evil man in any way, shape, or form. I must tell you that a fear has become over me. I also do not want to come on your show because I know your audience will judge and ridicule me. But that's okay. But I had to pen you this email. I got to start out about telling you a little bit about my past. As of my writing you this, in the current year of 2024, I have done some bad things. I am 42 years old and have spent over 6 years of my adult years in and out of jail for a variety of crimes. I've never been in state or federal prison. I've been in both county and city lockup in the state of Massachusetts. My real name is Tobias. The crimes that I have committed, I must first relate, were not violent, nor were they against women or children. They largely were against society as a whole, primarily businesses and residential homes. You see, I am primarily a thief. I have been in and out of jail for breaking and entering with the intentions to steal valuables from homes, small and larger businesses, to take goods to pawn to earn money. No, I am not addicted to drugs or alcohol, but found this the best way to earn my keep. I've worked maybe a total of 6 years in my entire life. My father has continued to bail me out of jams and take care of my legal implications. He's a very wealthy man and knows what strings to push to keep my sentences to a moderate level. Well, first of all, man, you know you're not working. Your dad's wealthy. Again, I don't understand you, but hey, thanks for sending this to me. Most other folks would have served much longer terms than I. I guess for me, I was lucky in that regard because of my father. I never brandished a weapon for the fear of using it in a stress-related incident. I also know that the jail sentences are much harsher and stricter. My last stint in county lockup was for a total of 18 months. During the last 3 months of my most recent incarceration is where my life really has put me in a quandary, of which I feel that there is no escape. Here is what I have gone through. As I lay in my bunk staring at the drab gray walls of my cell, I thought I was dreaming. A hulking, shadowy figure seemed to materialize before my eyes. It had piercing, reddish yellow eyes. It had sharp fangs. Unmistakably for me, it was and had the appearance of a werewolf, just as we have seen in the movies. My heart pounded in my chest, but I remained perfectly still, hardly daring to breathe. The werewolf approached my bedside, its clawed feet making no sound on the cold concrete floor. It leaned in close, and to my utter astonishment, it spoke. "Do not be afraid," it growled in a deep, rumbling voice. "I mean you no harm." I stared at the creature, utterly transfixed. This was no dream. The werewolf was real, standing right in front of me. What do you want?" I managed to stammer. The werewolf settled onto the edge of my bunk, its weight causing the frame to creak. "I have been watching you, young man. I sense a darkness within you, a restlessness that echoes my own." I swallowed hard, trying to make sense of what was happening. How is this possible? Werewolves are just stories. They're myths. They're Hollywood. The werewolf let out a rumbling chuckle. "Oh, we are very real. And I believe you have the potential to join us, to embrace the power that lies dormant within you." I shook my head in disbelief. "Join you? But I'm just a man, locked up in this cell. How could I possibly..." Then the werewolf chimes in. "Ah, but you are more than that," as the werewolf interrupted. "I can feel the wolf spirit spearing inside of you, waiting to be unleashed." It leaned closer, its hot breath on my face. "All you have to do is say yes." I stared into those glowing reddish yellow eyes, my mind racing. Was this real? Could I truly become a werewolf? The thought both terrified and intrigued me. As I opened my mouth to respond, a loud clang echoed through the cell block, and the werewolf vanished, leaving me alone once more. Several weeks after whatever you want to call this occurrence, I was released from jail and set free. My father picked me up and set me up in a trailer outside of town in the woods. I'm not going to disclose as to where in Massachusetts. He gave me $3,000 and told me that he never wanted to see me again, as my lifestyle finally was just too much of a strain and burden, not only for him, but for my mother as well. I shook his hand, I agreed, and was off to my new trailer home. No less than a week in my new trailer, I heard bipedal footsteps circling outside of my home. It was well after midnight, then the footfall stopped. Then, just outside of my front door, steep scratching and scraping on the metal pierced my eardrums. This went on for about 10 minutes, then it stopped. I reluctantly opened my door, and there was nothing in sight. I looked to the door area, and sure enough, deep claw marks were gashed all about and around the frame of the door. I went down the 3-stair makeshift entrance up to my door into the house or the trailer and noticed huge, oversized wolf-like animal impressions in the ground or on the ground. I panicked and raced back inside of my trailer. I sat on my sofa, and for the first time in my life, I began to pray to God. I sat in deep thought for about an hour, then decided to go back into my bedroom and go to sleep. I had dozed off for about an hour when I was awakened by footfall walking inside my bedroom. I woke up, and in horror, there at the edge of my bed was the same werewolf creature standing there, eyes ablaze, glaring at me. It spoke. It said, "Praying to God will not help you, as you are a non-believer. You, Tobias," yes, he called out my name, "are an evil man. All you have to do is say yes." With that, in an instant, the werewolf creature faded away as though it was some sort of ghost or apparition. I fled my trailer to my father's house and told him of my experiences at the jailhouse and at the trailer. He looked at me as if I was lying to him. He did, however, allow me to spend the night. In the morning, he drove me to his local church and introduced me to his priest friend. We sat down, and I explained my experience to the holy man. He looked at my dad and told my dad that I could seek refuge in the comforts of his home. He told my father and I that he did not believe I was being tormented by a werewolf. He explained that Satan's demons had a hold of me, and that the only way out was to accept Jesus Christ into my life. I have lived with the priest for several months. I have accepted Christ. I have not had any reoccurring events like this that I have just outlined before you. However, I know that something evil is waiting and lurking in the shadows for me. I know that I'm going to slip up. I wait for his call again. Tobias. Tobias, man, that's kind of messed up. You wait for his call again. It doesn't sound to me like you are fully on with the God thing. You guys know I'm not a religious dude. I believe in God and things. I believe that you need to introduce God into your life if you are accosted with evil. I do believe that, and I believe if I were to pray to God, he's helped me out of several jams, because I am a believer in my heart and soul. This guy's leaving a lot out. I think he's done a little more than petty theft, breaking and entering. I think the guy enjoys his life. I think that he did invite this in. Now, do I think this is a werewolf? Now, maybe it's something that's looking and manipulating that of a werewolf, right? Because certainly something's going on with this guy. And it just so happens that maybe if this is a nefarious demon or whatever you want to call it, that it's the way it's presenting itself to this Tobias. I think his problems are much deeper than what he leads on. Although with this story, the guy's got problems. I think something happened. I can't put my finger on what exactly. I want y'all to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this this guy, what he's come across, what he's experienced. What is it? Certainly a werewolf is not going to walk, into a cell room. How, that to me is something, it's a manifestation of something. I think it's something more ghost-like, you know what I mean? Nothing, I think it's metaphysical, not physical. That's my first snapshot, my first thoughts on this. I like to do a midnight show with the gang, again, maybe in a couple weeks, break it down further. Let me know what you thought. Like, share, subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. You guys have a great weekend. And until next time, I will see you around the corner. BMR, and I'm out.